What's up, people? Tonight, last Sunday. Can you believe it? This is the last Sunday of summer. I can't believe this. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I've been always a summer person, and it's crazy that we're heading into fall, people. I just it's crazy how we're heading into fall. Let me see. Let me go in here and edit the. Okay, why is this always on Friends? Okay, how we going into summer? Going into summer. So then we're gonna talk about a lot of different things tonight. So stay tuned.
That's the right tackle. Shell, who is still down on the ground.
What's going
You got
on?
me eating.
Yes, I just brought you in. What you munching on?
Had to get some Chipotle.
Oh man, I haven't had them since when they had that recall or something on it. I just haven't gotten any back. I haven't eaten any of that since then.
Mhm. Oh, okay.
So yeah.
This is my
It's
go-to when I don't feel like cooking. This is my go-to.
okay. What you get?
The beef burrito, steak burrito.
Oh, okay. I made some salmon and some Cuban black beans and rice. I guess you could probably saw it. Maybe you posted on Facebook
Oh,
with
okay.
a balsamic honey reduction sauce.
Oh, all right, all right.
So so man, can you believe this? This is the last Sunday of summer.
In, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
He said like, yeah, yes indeed, damn, about damn time.
Man, it's been a hot one. It's been a hot one. You know that.
We had our hot days. I don't think like it's been. I mean, it hadn't been that hot. Like I remember in 1990, was it 91 or 92 when I first came out? That was a hot one.
Yeah, yeah.
2012 was kind of hot. When I think of a real hot summer, I'm thinking it's like consistent 90 to 100 or something like that. Like they had out west. That they had a hot summer.
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
You know, we had
But
our days here and
if
there.
it's anything above 85 or above for me, I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
uh,
You're like this other friend of mine. She don't like it above 75. You know, there's I say you're like you need to live in Transylvania or somewhere, Central Europe or something. I don't know. You know, I think that's her day. Her days are like what is she likes? Probably the November
oh yeah,
where where
late
it's I
October,
say,
early November.
yeah, but then you get into November, it gets all kind of cloudy. That and then it
Hmm.
looks like Transylvania. You get that Halloween flavor in there.
Yep.
Some people like that mess. I'm not particularly a fan of it like that. But according to the damn almanac and something I saw online, October might be cold. You know?
Well, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah, I hope they're wrong. I'm not ready for no cold weather. I'm not ready to be having to bundle up and shit. I went down to Festival Latino last night.
Oh, I thought I caught I thought I caught a video of you saying that.
Yeah, but there was a guy I was supposed to be. He's supposed to have been filming, taping me and a friend of mine dancing, and he
Mm-hmm.
fucked that all up. I don't know what happened with it. And then a buddy of mine during that time called in from Florida, Eddie, because he was
hmm
watching. He was watching it on Facebook because they streamed it live on Facebook. The
Okay.
band that he used to sing with, Yim Bombay, performed. They were the first act, so he was watching that. But
Okay, I got you.
it's still, what's been going on, what's been happening. You know, yeah, people. We talk about a lot of different things. We got this promotion going on affiliate marketing and stuff. Uh, there's a lot of things going on with the news, and I'm trying to find something there that's probably here on there. But is this getting? I don't know. You see, now they're pulling back on who's supposed to get the third shot,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, well, I don't know. I did a quick video. I don't know if you caught that about an hour ago before the show, and I know it's just I don't understand people. I don't understand their whole ideology. Like everybody works. We always been talking about everybody want to work 30, 40 years for some corporate plantation and then get paid not even half their salary in retirement, and then they struggle. Retirement is a government entity. Then they want to get Social Security, talking about they don't trust the government, but they want, you know, Social Security. They want medical insurance. All that stuff is government subsidized. A lot of it, most of it. You hear all these people talking about socialism. All those are socialistic things.
Right.
So you can't. It's like people want it. They want things this way, but then they don't want it that way. You can't have it both ways.
No.
And one of the things we try to tell people, you either going to learn. They're talking about, what was it last night? They're talking about the wealthy, and I said, there's this thing. I guess they're talking about Biden is going to tax the wealthy. Well, that's fine, but the problem with the Democratic Party and all of them is that they don't see. Me and this friend of mine, Rita, last night, we were talking about a lot of things down at the festival, and I said, everybody always wants to talk about, who pays taxes or whatever, and like they were talking about on one of them shows on MSNBC. What's his name? I guess I can't think of his name with the glasses. He talking about the biggest problem people don't understand is that the wealthy do not make their money through working.
That's right.
The system, or working for money, I should say.
That's right.
The system is set up for them to pay the less to no taxes because most of their income comes through either business or investments. It's not through all the capital gains, all that type of stuff. It's not through all that stuff. It's through they invest their money.
Right.
Plus, they do not. The wealthy's mindset is not geared to looking for a job. Their mindset is geared towards creating assets like investments or business opportunities or whatever. That's the difference. When we can't sit there. Too many people in our country sit there and want to talk about what the wealthy do, but like I always said, you're not going to get people who own the same entities, the Treasury, the Federal Reserve, and all these things that allow them certain loopholes that they put into the framework and say y'all going to tax them higher. They pay taxes in another way, but they don't pay taxes like the working class. Working class pay the most taxes because of how they make their money. Working class people make their money actively. Rich people make their money passively and linearly. They don't go looking for a job. When are you, if you're going to learn how to play a game like Monopoly, you got to learn. If you're going to be in certain things, you got to learn the culture. It's like a job. Every job you go to has a certain culture, but then they have a certain foundational thing. If you ain't on there on time, if you did it, they give you all these certain amount of sick leaves or vacation time. Now, if you know this is what I don't get about people. You can't sit there and keep complaining about certain environments unless you're going to do one or two things. Either you're going to adapt to it or you're going to get the hell out of it. What's your thoughts on that, kid?
Oh, well, you were talking about government programs, and I think most people should know. Hey, the GI Bill is a government sponsored program.
Right.
Okay, and it's the rich. Yes, their money works, and the rich, their money works for them. They're, as you stated, they're not actively seeking employment for their 9 to 5, for their medical coverage, or for 401k or anything like that, because their business or their investments are tied into other things, so they don't have to look for a job if they, and of course most don't want to, so their money is working for them. They're not working for money.
Yeah. And this is where people fail. This is what our government fails to tell people, but it's done on purpose. And I've said this once before. We have a system that is devised for specific certain people to follow. It is set up to follow certain criteria to feed the system. So those people who control all these things control. Okay, it's about control. And I can get into a whole lot of reasons why, because I shared a daggone post on my, let me see if I can see it now. Let me go here. It's on my Facebook page. Oh, there's the salmon. Nope, that's the video from earlier. Okay, here, this video, God's Son. Okay, this video explained a whole lot of different things that I always had questions about, and it tied to everything that I always had questions about, and it's very. You can get this on. This is on YouTube. It talks about the Southern Cross and all that. Okay, let me get off it. Why I mention that is because that's another thing that also is tied to our system, religious beliefs. Not that any of this stuff truly happened, but it's tied to that for a source of control. See, every system, even the subsystems, are created for specific agendas to help those people take advantage. we need to really wake up to that fact, because that's what's going on. I don't see how they're going to legitimately go and tax the wealthy for what they're trying to do when the government actually prints money freely, because there's nothing there to back it up. There's no gold standard, none of that stuff. So they can freely print money. This is what the American public don't understand. There's a whole lot of stuff they were talking about, right now. I don't know if you've noticed this. They always talk about electors or electorates when it comes to political and voting and all that, more so than they did before. Or maybe I'm just now paying more attention to it. But they never talk about, actually, when it comes to candidates, those candidates, they're always referring to the electors or electorates. Right there. They're telling you that you, as a citizen in the United States of America, do not actually vote for the candidates and that run, especially primarily in the presidential election. You do not vote for the candidate, people. This is why there are certain things that need to be gotten rid of, like the filibuster and all those kind of things, because they were primarily set up for certain groups of economic wealth people to have advantage. But you got problems on both sides of the aisle that are protecting the system because they are benefiting from it. Okay. Granted, you got certain people on more. You got the biggest problem. I don't know if it's just, the Republicans are always talking about freedoms, but they're only talking about freedoms for certain people. That's their big mistake. If you're going to have freedom, you better be talking about freedom for everybody, but that's not what they're talking about. The Democrats are all talking about helping each other, but they act like they don't. They come into the fight not prepared to fight. So what is the deal? You got two sides of the aisle not ready to kick ass and take names. One just blatantly don't give a shit about you, about the working class, and that appears to be the GOP. They don't give a fuck about anybody. They don't even give a fuck about their own damn constituents. Anybody that says we're not mandating vaccines, we're not mandating this. This is the problem I had with people and everything. And this is what I didn't know. I shared this out to a friend. Mandates with vaccines is not a new thing, people. George Washington's army had to have them to continue to fight because the smallpox was killing off his soldiers. Okay, so in any instance, military people. We just mentioned about military people. I shared another video about this. You know what? Let me go. Let's do this. I want to see if I can find this. Let me go back to this. Find this. This one thing is on my page. Let me see. No, that's not it. Where is that? This guy's a former military. Damn, where is it? Not this, not that. Voting. No. Where is it? Damn. That ain't it either, okay? Look. Okay, why can't I find this? Oh, he was breaking it down.
Is that the one where
Let me
the
see if I
where
can.
the where the dude was in the car speaking?
In the car, I think. Damn, where is it? Now I can't find the damn thing. When I saw it, it was popping up on my daggone. Well, there's the one on George Washington. Oh Lord, what's going on? I can't find that damn thing now. Like every time you want to find something, it's almost like it don't want you to find it.
He probably had it so deep in the in the thread.
Let me see something here. Uh, Jesus Christ, what's going on now? Facebook keeps the one thing about these application sites, they always are updating, and every time you try to find something, they seem to mess up on you. When you're looking for something, it goes boom, it does something else. Let me see. I don't know. I can't. I don't see. I don't know where it is. But every time, when you're looking on your phone and on your desktop, they don't coincide. Your desktop and your phone seem like they're all out of sync,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's what I don't. I never understood that, or there's some kind of delay. Well, basically, I don't know where it is at. He was talking about how you know going in the military, he had to take vaccines, or here it is. Here it is.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
This was from Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Where you personally have the right and the freedom to be a selfish dick. That's all this comes down to. I'm about to answer you and every other fucking person who's polluting my goddamn comment section with this stupid shit. You brought up the fact that I was a soldier and I fought for your freedoms. You know, one of the things that I had to do to be able to fight for your freedom to say that stupid shit, I had to get vaccinated. And the United States Army wasn't hearing more burdens. They get it done. Because I wouldn't have been an effective soldier. I wouldn't have been able to be in a motherfucking fight. I wouldn't have been an effective non-mission officer with a platoon full of soldiers who all got sick because I decided I didn't want to take the fucking flu vaccine. How many people are out of the fight then? See, what y'all want is to be patted on the back and celebrated for your absolute fucking individual selfishness. And we won't do it, so you're mad. Because that's all this comes down to. You want the accommodation. I don't feel like being vaccinated, but I still want a job. And a job is telling you, fuck you. We have motherfucking protocols, procedures, and mandates. If your ass don't want to follow them, find another fucking place to work. You want to be a fake ass nurse, a pretend nurse, a pretend CNA, a pretend everything, and talk about working in motherfucking health care, the care of other people's health without being vaccinated. You want us to forget the fact that every motherfucking person that's ever went into a damn elementary school has had to be vaccinated. Smallpox, chicken pox, shit like that. You want us to forget all of that. Well, you want us to celebrate the fact that you, non-fucking scientist, you, non-researcher, has decided that ivermectin, turpentine, and iodine are fucking effective ways to kill a fucking virus. And even after the people who make these fucking products tell you don't do that, you're still going, well, they don't know. It's hidden in the truths. If you want to stay in your motherfucking house by yourself, doing nothing, and fucking get COVID and be unvaccinated, fine. I don't. You want to stay on your motherfucking 250 or 150 fucking acre ranch by yourself with nobody around you and get COVID because you're unvaccinated? I do not care. But understand something. There have been over 650,000 Americans who have died from this fucking thing. Some of which, with their very last breaths, literally, said, I wish I had gotten the vaccine. Please get the vaccine. But you don't want to listen because you think you have these fictional ass motherfucking freedoms. Show me where that shit's written down and then I will fucking believe. Show me in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, or the Declaration of Independence where you personally have the right and the freedom to be a selfish dick. That's all this comes down. I'm about to answer you and every other fucking person who's polluting my goddamn comment section with this stupid shit.
Okay. Somebody shooting out fireworks.
Greg, you sure that wasn't you?
Everybody talk about me, how I cuss. He outdid me. Hey, sometimes you gotta talk like that. There was somebody on the comments didn't like what he had to say because he was saying motherfucker every other word. Well, some of y'all, he got your attention. He got your attention. That was the way to get your attention. You know, sometimes some people got to be verbally slapped upside the head for them to understand. And like he said, you had to get vaccinated to go to school. You got to be vaccinated to perform in the military. All those kind of things were mandated, and this is not a new thing. And
he probably stated this, and I didn't catch it. But if you come back from, and yes, I will say this: if you come back from any countries from the motherland, from the Ivory Coast, let's see, the Congo, or I believe Nigeria too, but I'm not 100% on that. They want you to get get vaccinated before you come back stateside.
Oh, let me tell you guys, the audience, a story. When I lived in LA, our roommate who was a Navy SEAL, okay, and he told me they were in the PI, Philippines, okay? I always talk about the Philippines and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm talking about this 20, 30 something years ago. He was telling me they got a venereal disease that they got no cure for. Penicillin, it laughs at. All the drugs and shit, it laughs at. He said this guy was peeing chunks. Okay? They don't know what it was. It literally eats away at the genitals. Okay?
Oh, God.
They got on the island where people got venereal diseases that they got no cure for. That's where they send them. But they report these people as MIA, missing in action. A lot of people aren't MIA because they caught some stuff that they ain't got no cures for. Now, with that being said, all you candy asses out here with all your conspiracies and bullshit, I say this again. Right, that is the Philippines, but if this shit gets too much out of hand, like I just saw something about the Mu variant, if it's one of those type that resists the vaccinations, because you some bitches that are out here unvaccinated won't get vaccinated, and that's why it's mutating, and you think your civil liberties and all that shit is being stepped upon now, they're gonna do one or two things. They're gonna lock this bitch down and they're gonna call martial law. Okay? And they're gonna treat you unvaccinated as the walking dead. And you know what that means. And they saw, you know, if you watched any of those shows, what they did to the walking dead. Okay? This is what you might be looking at. Because there's some of y'all got your heads caught up in your ass about why you won't do this or that. And you got no excuses now. Don't bring, like, you know, I had this friend talking about, well, telling me what I can put in my body. Anybody, when it's about the whole masses that need to be protected, yes. And like I just said, if you're one of those small group of people that refuse to do that and they got to curtail it any means possible, guess what they gonna do to your ass? Now I'm being real. I'm gonna be straight up real about it. You think your civil liberties ain't being affected no way, no how, no why. Now, today, right now, if they don't get, I'm telling you, next year, if they don't get the numbers down to where they need to, don't be surprised we'll be under martial law. I'm not gonna be surprised. And there ain't gonna be no civil liberties for nobody, especially you fools that ain't vaccinated. They're either gonna deport you to an island like they do those people in the PI for the infected, or they're gonna do like they did in the PI and give you a hot one and be done with it. This ain't nothing to be playing around with people. It's not a scare tactic. It's just something they don't know what it's about, and they're trying to curtail it any way they can. Mm-hmm. See, your civil liberties ain't nowhere near been infected or been stretched upon yet. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn vaccine. Do what is happening. It's gonna be about trying to save the many because the few are acting like assholes. Okay? That's what it's gonna be about. And see, we come on this show because we do have an audience that we talk about different things, but you know, in the last few weeks, it's just been crazy. Yes, we try to help people with finances. We try to help inform people about certain things they probably don't know about, educate them about certain things, because education is the key to a lot of things. I ain't talking about no damn degree. Fuck a degree, okay? I don't give a shit about no damn college degree. Some of them are the dumbest son of bitches on earth, especially the ones that just depend on that and parade around with letters and shit behind their name and can't put a down payment on a Twinkie. You ain't got nothing to tell me, okay? You ain't got nothing to say to me. Say, you know, there's some people, there's a lot of us walking around here with these labels. Love the labels.
Right.
Love the
right.
Well, I got a PhD in so-and-so. Well, I got a double major PhD in this. I don't give a damn about y'all's PhDs or your MIAs or whatever the fuck you got running around on your car saying what you are. They don't mean shit in today's market. I'm gonna just tell you, don't nobody care. Corporate plantation don't care. They want to know what you can do, what ways you can help make money. And if you can't make them no money, they don't give a shit what.
There it is.
You got.
There it
See,
is.
the skill set is about this is the misinformation. See, the misinformation is based off of personal bullshit that people like to spout off, but their misinformation usually isn't backed up with any facts. And then if you look on this guy's Instagram page, you got some people saying some stupid shit there. Well, black people, there's some of us that want to spout how black we are that we lose sight of common sense. We spouting off how black we are, and like I said, there's some people that I got some of their books, but there's some things I disagree because they spouting off how black they are. Black, we're the only group of people that call our culture after a color in a crayon box. Do you hear me? I said the only culture that describes our culture out of a color in a crayon box. And we are probably the rainbow of the crayon box. But what we do, we label ourselves a color out of a crayon box. Y'all take that for what you want to take it for. I mean, it just.
Hey, do you remember when this pandemic first started? When it really started getting serious, and I remember, and I think it was on the Breakfast Club. I think is where I first heard this. That, and I wish I could remember the cat's name. I wish I could remember his name, but he was like, this COVID is only going to affect white folks. And he said, well, wait a minute. And the host just said, wait a minute. Things are just getting started. So you're saying, in your opinion, you're saying that black folks can't get it. And he retorted right back. The guy said, no, as of right now, black folks can't get it. And I was like, oh my God. Did he just really say that?
Black
and sure enough, a few weeks later, even when everything was getting in lockdown, folks was on the internet. Well, we can't get it. I'm like, oh, geez. Oh Lord.
Well, who was this knucklehead?
I wish I could remember his name, but
see,
obviously he's not saying that now. Obviously,
no. I would have challenged if he's still alive. I would have challenged his ass.
A relatively young kid. I would say he's in his approximately mid 30s, early 40s.
Well, you know what? He still got milk around his lips. If he's still in his 30s talking shit like that, you know, you gotta be, like I said, you gotta be very, very vigilant on information online, even on some of these shows. Because the Breakfast Club they're about ratings. They like to get controversial topics on people to say stuff like that. And they have and these guys have no scientific backup of what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, you froze up on us.
And such, to walk around here and say that black people can't get this. Black people ain't that special.
Mm-hmm.
We bleed red blood just like anybody else. Okay.
Right.
I wish people quit saying, you know, probably some people gonna get on my case about this, and I got his books, but Claude Anderson always says black people are exceptional people. Exceptional in what way? I mean, everybody has exceptionality in them. I mean, you know, you got to define some stuff to me, not just to say this because it sounds good. Mm-hmm. You got to say, well, because we did this, that, and other thing. We did this, that, and that. That to me will give more credibility and substance to just want to spout off that black people are exceptional. Well, there's a lot of fucking exceptional people, groups of people. Okay. And when I came to had to come to a really realization about why was every other ethnic group able to be enslaved, wasn't being able to be enslaved like black folks. I had to start looking at what is wrong with. I had to start being critical and say what is wrong with black folks, or what is wrong with that group of black folks. Mm-hmm. Because when you can't justify certain thing and then you say one thing and it doesn't legit the thing, and then a lot of us will say, well, those group of people because of that. Nah, ain't that. I hear people say, well, black people have all these different tribes. So did most of ethnic groups.
Yes.
That's not a legitimate reason to say why they were exceptional to be enslaved. No. I'm not going for that. Mm-hmm. Every ethnic group in this world was divided in some kind of tribal council, whatever. That's a big story.
And I can point out a prime example. Anglo-Saxons, before they got together in Britain, Anglos and Saxons could not stand each other.
That's what I'm saying. But then it makes you wonder too. I asked this question: if African people were spiritual, mm-hmm. Why the fuck would you let a bunch of gringos, güeros, come to your country and tell you how do you let somebody turn your own ethnic ability, spirituality to believe their religious bullshit? And when I asked this question on a group, somebody said, well, they had guns. So motherfucking what? See, don't think because you got a gun, that means you can do what the fuck you want to do. I'd rather take you the fuck out of here. That still ain't gonna make me do it, regardless. You can kill my body or whatever. I still ain't doing what you want to do. Okay? This is why I admired more of the samurai, Bushido, martial arts type things like that, because there was a critical thing. I don't give a fuck about what you got. I'll take you all the fucking hell if I got to. Okay? I always look at black folks always walking around Easter time, Christmas, always jumping around hallelujah, but you motherfuckers are scared to die. Okay? Always talking about going to heaven and all this other shit. Don't you know you gotta die to go to heaven or whatever? All those kind of things, there's a thing that you have to do before you get there. If we are that much of spirituality and warriorship, then we shouldn't have gave a fuck about what they did. That's just my opinion. If you are that exceptional in doing this, or you gonna say that them smaller West Africans, they weren't about shit? Well, but then you got other ones that didn't help. That wouldn't. What does that say about you as a people when you didn't even try to help them? You weren't shit. I'm not trying to say that black people ain't shit, but you got to understand something. I'm trying to be a critical thinker and understand. I keep seeing all these posts about black folks are different, or African and spiritual and all this other shit with this and that. Where was that bullshit when you needed to tell them something? Bitch, y'all not taking shit here. Okay? That's my whole point. It's got to be a time when you tell people, it's like in the movie Shogun, which is based off a true story, when the English tried to occupy Japan, and the samurai during that time told y'all niggas, y'all niggas take yourself back to Japan. I'm gonna show you why. one of the daimyo families, one of the retainers, took one of his best men and decapitated him in front of the Europeans. And they looked at him like he was crazy. He said, yeah, I am. Because if I didn't give a shit about him, what makes you think they're going to give a damn about your ass, whether you got guns or not? Bring it, motherfucker. That's what they were saying. Okay? There are times where you just got to say, then we all, do you want to go? And I don't give a shit. Do you want to go? Ain't about me. Do you want to go? And see your own God or Jesus, whatever. Because we'll send you there too. Because they did not give a shit about black people's salvation. They didn't get they if they might anybody put you at 3/5 of a human, you know they don't give a fuck about you. Okay? They don't give a shit about you. They didn't give a shit about your salvation. I hear people talking about, well, they wouldn't have lied about God. Motherfucker, they lied about every damn thing. Everything that you probably, this is why there's a book I want to get by Robert Kiyosaki, talks about this very thing. It's called Fake. And I think the subtitles like everything that you were taught was a damn lie. I'm really believing that everything from our education to Sunday school to all that shit was all a lie. But it was spread down because there's too many people that subscribe to the lie because they want to live. Or they want the 3 hots in the cot. Or they wanted this other bullshit. You know? Sometimes it's better to burn down the whole bodega than to be the slave or anything, even if it's your own people. See, I don't know why we don't, we talk all this stuff about this, but we didn't do any of it. To me, yeah, I know there were rebellions. Yes, I'm not negating that. But they didn't seem like they were effective enough to say, oh, we ain't gonna fuck with these people. See? I mean, what are your thoughts about that, kid?
I would say, throughout history, I just don't. I have to come across that much because all races of the world, whether it be the Hindu and the Islam in India and Pakistan, because to this day they don't go at war with each other, but there's still a deep mistrust between those two countries, India and Pakistan. You've got all that tension even before Yugoslavia broke up between the Slavs and and Serbos and the Serbian people and Croatians. Even in jolly old Great Britain, you still have, even though it's not as prevalent as it used to be in the 70s when I was growing up, you still have the IRA still wanting to some degree, not as much as it was back in the day, but still would rather see Queen Elizabeth off her throne, and I'm not talking about natural causes. So all the races of the world had these bitter conflicts with each other, but it just seemed to that when it comes to us that African people were not above that, and I have to disagree. We were not above, because tribes kept enemy tribe members as slaves. Now, obviously, not to the degree that it was done here in the continental U.S. and the islands of North America, but that happened. and we can't deny that. If we as black folks have to be critical about folks about white folks and their history, we have to be honest. We have to be honest about our history as well. Got to be.
Yeah, you got to be. You can't sit up here and talk about who else lied about some things, and then yet you want to say you above approach when you did kind of the same fucked up shit to your own people.
Because
the only
even in Roots, Alex Haley in Alex Haley's book, he talked about how his ancestor Kunta Kinte was not only captured by the white folks off the ship to come get him, but how his black slave enemies in the opposing tribe were there to capture him as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could think of that really kind of makes sense was that the way this group of Africans or black Africans looked, they couldn't mix in with other groups of people to hide. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I think that makes more sense. They weren't able to mix in well and hide their identity. Even though you had some blacks that mixed in with some whites, and some was able to, like you had, I got on my side of the family, both sides that were able to pass as a white, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, all those type of things. And it's always about identity and how you can meld in to fit in so-called polite society. That was probably the sticking point of why a lot of black people, they weren't able to do that. Okay. That's fine. But let's admit to that, okay? Yeah. Let's quit talking about all this other shit. Yeah, we know there's a lot of things that we invented that we weren't able to have patents for. Teach that, but it just seemed like we was always talking about slaves and all that other stuff. But yet, you know, now a lot of people are complaining about, I guess, 50 Cent because of the shows that he has, like Power and there's BMF that's coming out next Sunday, Black Mafia family. Well, let's be real about it. This whole country, from time of conception, was built on organized crime. Everything, from the foundation that it was stolen and occupied from, that was some of the things that certain people had to do to survive. Organized crime. If you only, there was sometimes a certain group of people, not just black or like Italians. When you leave nothing but the underworld, they got to do what they got to do to protect their families and survive. That's what all that stuff was started out to be, was protection for their neighborhoods, all that kind of stuff. This is the problem where people start getting on their moral high horse about this and that, but don't understand no history. When you don't understand no history and get on your moral high horse about shit, that's where I got a problem with you. It's just the same thing about, I go back to we'll talk about vaccines. Okay. When we talk about business, people don't understand network marketing was started by Madam C.J. Walker. That was the first person conceptualized what we know as network marketing. Do any of these network marketing companies teach you that kind of shit? No. Because they fucking don't know. They can't teach what you don't know. Okay? So that's the education that's lacking in all realms, from religion, conceptualized through business, money, how it works. Is a lack of information and education that is not taught. What's taught is the educational aspect to keep you dumb, stupid, and compliant. That's what they did with most of America. Not just black people. There's a whole group of other people they did that with. Granted, black people were kept on the lowest totem pole, but there are whites, there are some other subgroups were kept that way because they only wanted certain people to have certain things. That's been some time immemorial. Once you understand that, see, what I'm understanding is more the problem that the Democrats and all these political people are going to have. They need to cut the shit and say, we have enough to do what we need to do. But see, the biggest problem, our government's bought off. Let's just cut the mess. Our government's bought and paid for by the ultra elite. Okay? I ain't talking about no conspiracy things. Go read the meeting at Jaco Island. I will give you reference points to educate yourself, because the ultimate of education is self-education. Read Robert Kiyosaki's Conspiracy of the Rich. Okay? Read. Find out some things. Then you can have intelligent conversations about stuff. Then you can tie things into what's going on today. That's what my whole platform in this school or this Sunset Sunday was conceptualized for, because of all the stuff that I've read and came across over the years. Wasn't just to have a damn show and to run off at the mouth. I didn't need that. I didn't need to do that. There's too many motherfuckers online doing that shit now and ain't giving no people saying they're giving value. They ain't giving no value. You can't be giving value if you just repeating the same bullshit that somebody else said because they make a lot of money. Think about what's being said. I'm talking about every damn body. I'm talking about people from all the network marketing, all this online affiliate marketing. I'm talking about some people from MLSP. I'm talking about people from Amway, Metal, all that shit. Okay, to be a leader, a leader in any damn thing, you have to be critical in what's being said. Mm-hmm. It's not saying that you doubting what their abilities. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to be, especially if you are a person of color. Because granted, white folks don't have the same experience as brown people, black people, Asian people, and a lot of times people are only going to talk from their own experience, and their experience is going to be their truths. And when they talk to the people that look like them, they're going to be relatable because that's been their experience. Okay? That's always been the problem. That's why I feel like there's not that many people so successful in the network marketing, because it's occupied by a lot of white folks who only tell their side of story because they don't have the same experience. Their experience, they think, is everybody's experience, the way they talk. Mm-hmm. Okay? And we, as people of color, have to bring a different flavor to the panel because we have different experiences. Okay? That's not knocking their experience. It's just what it is.
Well, and a perfect example of that, Greg, just to piggyback off of what you said, is the George Floyd video. I can't tell you how many things that I saw, not on just on social media period, after that came out. I mean, and I think it was because, well, one, it was because of COVID and the country was on lockdown, and it was just like we were saying, a lot of white folks were saying, I can't believe that the police just did that, and black folks were just saying, well, where the hell have you been?
Yeah.
This is like,
yeah, there's a lot of
like just like another day in the week, bro.
Yeah. A friend Rita asked me last night, had I ever been pulled over by the cops, or had I ever had the problems with that? I said, no, not really, not lately. She said, is it because you're maybe lighter, or because you're of mixed heritage and all that? I said, I don't know. It may be. I don't know. But, sometimes we got to look at what positions that we put ourselves in.
Exactly.
What are we doing And you know, I come from a different time period. Even though I grew up in the 70s, see, me and my friend Mike were talking about this. I don't know what, and it's probably part of my generation's fault also, because we had kids from that millennial times and so on.
Okay.
A lot of these kids don't have any. One second. When I grew up, we had the black exploitation thing. Okay, so whether it was good or bad, we still had those visions of black people doing something, whether it's good or bad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think too. I grew up in a time period, the martial arts era. And one of the biggest influences, and I've said this before, was Bruce Lee. Even though Bruce Lee was Asian, Bruce Lee related to a whole vast of people.
Oh
okay?
Man! Even though we were little kids, Bruce Lee was the man to us.
Right.
You know.
And most of these people don't have that that exposure. You know, you hear everybody, some of these guys that are in martial arts talk about, they talk about mixed martial arts, but they don't understand that from the 60s and 70s. And then, if it wasn't for, I hear people talking about, I know what I just heard. I just watched this movie called Birth of a Dragon. It was on Netflix.
Okay.
It's a time period of Bruce Lee's life where he fought this guy called Wong Jack Man. But they took liberties in this segment of Bruce Lee's life, which wasn't how that happened. There were some excerpts of it that he talked about that did happen, but the fight that they showed did not happen that way. Okay? Because if you look at the video of Linda Lee, she talks about the fight only lasted 3 minutes. And Bruce Lee won because Wong Jack Man he said he gave up. And it was in Cantonese. But in the movie, it was this for dramatic. It wasn't the true thing. And this is the problem with Hollywood. Hollywood always does things to sell tickets. That's their business. Mm-hmm. But yet they fail to say, this is a dramatization of a part of Bruce Lee's life to give themselves some legitimacy. That's the problem in our society. People don't give a fuck about a lot of things. They take advantage of stuff. They take things out of context, and then they get mad on people who call them on that because they have no damn reference or education behind it because they weren't there. It's just like Michael Jai White at one time made this statement about because he big, he could beat Bruce Lee's ass. First of all, Michael Jai White, you was fucking 4 years old when Bruce Lee was at the height of his career. So there was no, and people were talking this shit that had no reference points because they weren't even born after probably Bruce Lee died.
Yeah, I was 6 when he passed.
The lack of education and knowing shit is the problem in our society, and not want to know things because you want to sound like you know every damn thing. It's the same thing that's happening with this damn thing about the vaccines and everything. I'm not knocking that the pharmaceutical companies and the FTC, they got problems. But
sure,
you got to look at things. You got over 600, almost 700,000 people that have died. They dying of something, and it ain't just no flu.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, people need to get up off their high horse and they bullshit, and they're all this conspiracy and worm taking vaccines that will take you out faster than this damn virus will. My cousin Craig told me that he used to give that as a thing to his dog. Why would you take a worm vaccine for an animal, but you ain't gonna take this damn legitimate vaccine that's been tested to over 40,000 people and it's been worked on since the early 2000s. See, this is the information people don't understand and don't get. They listen to these fucked up ass news channels, these conspiracy thought processed fools from the GOP or wherever. All that
because
kind
they have an agenda they want to put forth, you know.
Right. They want to be seen. So they'll use this whole dumb shit like fuck Nick, you know what? Fuck Nicki Minaj. If she can't use her platform, this is why I gotta think about hip hop. Okay? That's why I don't got no
Lord have mercy.
Not today's hip hop, back from the early 80s and stuff. When it got into the 90s, y'all could have stuffed that shit up y'all's ass. That fucking bullshit. And now this mumble mouth bullshit, niggas, I'm tired of it.
I was cool with it until fucking Boogie went out.
This music that they got out now, they need to outlaw it. I wouldn't give a shit to put them fools out of business. Go work at McDonald's. They paying $15 an hour. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's the stupid stuff that we do, and we gravitate to the lowest. This is why you got white folks are getting fucked up too. They get caught up in that cultural mess. I mean, it's all become a hot mess. And the things that she could have done positive, no, she gonna talk about, well, my cousin's huevo swelled up. No, your cousin got to order some bad concha. Okay? That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I'm sure. I don't mean to make light of it, because from what I understand, you getting that stuff, it ain't no joke. But still, compared to COVID, I mean, I think your cousin Nikki is gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring up, one of our frequent viewers she just chimed in, stated that I wonder how many people have survived COVID. I feel like we always hear about how many died. I would say, just to answer your point, I'm sure millions have survived it. Personally, I have an aunt. I have an aunt who has survived that, and an uncle. So, and I've known a couple of friends who've had it, and they've survived it. So I'm sure millions have. I couldn't give you an accurate number, obviously, but I'm sure millions have survived this. I don't know how many are long haulers, because I heard those long haulers, you know, they still are dealing with it, because they have to go in for certain treatments, and this is like 6-7 months after they've had the initial virus.
Okay, see, we got people who are that had it. I have my mother's sister had it. But you got to understand, when in the beginning of all this, when there was no vaccine, when they didn't know what to do, there was a lot of people dying right off. Okay. Right. Yeah. Sometimes the press gets out, but they didn't know what to do with this stuff when the beginning last year. They had no clue how this thing, and they still don't know. Yeah. There's people who survive. If you call the after effects surviving, I mean, you got to really understand when you really talk about survivor. You're saying how many haven't died, well, or who have died or who haven't died. We don't know, but they kept account of people who were dying, because at the time they didn't have a vaccine. Okay, they're not doing that right so much like they were now back then. But you got to understand, there are certain people, like Kent said, the long haulers, they are having all these after effects. We have a colleague that's been doing this training coming up next month, Diane Hawkman. She got the COVID, was hospitalized, and she was fully vaccinated. Now, I understand this is where the problem lies in the messaging that probably if she wasn't vaccinated, who knows what the outcome would have been with her? Nobody knows. That has been always the talking point that's been out there. But there's a lot of people that fail to hear that and want to go on to the thing, well, I'm not getting it because you still can get it if you got vaccinated. Well, there are people who got the flu, vaccinated and got vaccinated and got the flu, but they might not have had it severely. The point being is, if you don't control it, it's about controlling the spread, people. This is not an individual thing. This is all of us. And the flu right then wasn't a global pandemic like this damn thing that's going on. Okay. I don't know when we're going to get to the point this shit is about all of us, not an individual one. If you want to go back to doing the things you did back in 2019 and before, then they got to control it. They're going to control it. Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real raw. We're going to hurt your feelings or scare you. You can call me whatever the fuck you want to call me. But the government going to control it one way or another. And some of them ways, y'all might not like it. Okay? For the common good of everybody else, it may get to a point where, fuck it, you fuckers don't want to take this shit. Fine. You just taking up space. I'm going to be wrong about it. Don't put it that it can't happen because it happened in the Philippines. It could happen here. Let this shit get too much out of hand. Let this new variant they call the mu, if it is one of them things that bypassing the vaccine, we might as well some of y'all might as well kiss your ass goodbye. Because you didn't do what we needed to done to stop it mutating.
Well, and I think you had this meme up. Well, actually, I've seen the meme up about several different times where they show this kid. They show this kid with smallpox on the left, and then a kid, another. I'm assuming his brother, right beside him. Who had been vaccinated. And the meme goes on. The meme. It's a pretty long diatribe, and I won't go on it. You'll see it on Facebook because the meme is everywhere. But they said this is one of the reasons why surgeons wear masks. It's not because they're afraid of getting a broken leg or an appendicitis that they're operating on. They're doing it to protect you, so they won't give you anything while they're performing the surgery.
Because they're around all kinds of sick people. This is why they keep hospitals at a certain temperature level, because certain bacteria can't survive in it. But we don't seem to want to educate ourselves about a lot of stuff.
Right, and surgeons didn't start wearing masks until when the Spanish flu came around. That's when military surgeons start wearing masks, and from that point going forward, you see surgeons wearing masks.
Here's another question by Chris saying, is the government control also called modern day dictatorship?
Depends on who you speak with on that.
Yeah, it depends on who you speak with. People always talk about government control. Let me give y'all some real things to understand. Government has to be big enough to control certain things. Let's be real. People can be not worth a shit. If you don't have certain things in place Look, like with all these racist groups that are out here, okay, you gotta have some kind of laws in place to control their asses. If when you were born in this country and maybe the world, if you want to get into control and stuff like that and digital tracking, your ass was tracked from the day you got breathing on earth, from the day you walked, from the day you got a job. It's called a social security number. Okay, the day you got on the phone and got paid bills, they were tracking you. It's, you know, tracking for the good and tracking for evil things, they're two different things. But they got to track certain things to know who's doing what, and it's not to say that they're trying to control everything you do. If they wanted to control every damn thing you do, there ain't a goddamn thing you really can be doing about it, unless you fucking armed and ready to hot dance. See, I hear some of these white folks talking about, I don't want them to come. They're not coming to take my guns. If they truly wanted to take your guns, they'll nuke where you at. They ain't got to do nothing. They'll send a drone and smoke your ass. With this damn technology today, they ain't got to do that shit. Let's be real. You ain't. I got friends that got all these guns and shit. I said, well, you go out. How many guns you gonna be able to take with you? Unless you gonna stay home. You know, everybody talking about, I got all this at home. You can't take all them things with you. You can't carry them all. So, I mean, we got to really be, we got to be really thinking about from a standpoint of what's real and quit worrying about every damn thing. Because if you work in a job, you can say the government controls you. State government controls you. If it, Social Security, as I said earlier. If you want to call that dictatorship or whatever. See, we look at countries like China or the Philippines or these other places, Russia, where they have people walking around with guns and stuff. Granted, they know they're under some kind of authoritarian rule. This is why I get tired of, sometimes I get tired of people in our country, especially government folks, want to say how free we were. We are free to a certain point. Okay? We're only free to a point that where we understand certain things. They're not going to tell us everything. It is up to you. You want freedom? It is up to you, each individual, to educate yourself too. But don't educate yourself where you come in with stupid shit. Like I had this friend send me this dumbass video about, oh, the COVID's not real. Well, motherfucker, what's happened with 675,000 people dying? Okay? What's that about? It's that kind of stuff that really, the ignorant shit that really gets on my nerves. People dwell in a lot of negativity and conspiracy things and act like they can't tell the difference. But, and like I always said, they always do this shit, but especially black folks, we are hot dancing about a Jesus all the time that we ain't never seen. You know, we will get into all that kind of shit. It's crazy. What's this thing she's saying about microchip? I'm not gonna worry about that. You know why? I understand they're doing that in some other countries, and it's a lot of times it's on a voluntary basis. It's not the conspiracy thing that a lot of people are spouting out. A lot of people, I've read stuff about it. It's on a voluntary thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that shit right now. Why worry about stuff that ain't happening?
Yep.
We always worry about stuff that's in the future. We can't control that. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. And at this point in time in my life, I don't give a shit. I probably might not be here no way. You know, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But nobody's
right. I'm not gonna worry about shit like that. People get caught up in all this shit that Microchip. Well, shit, they microchip your dog. My cat was microchip. So if you get lost, you can find them. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna worry about that shit. If they really wanted to look, if they really wanted to control people like that, they'd have done that the day you were born. People, they had all that time. They had all that time to do that. She said, "Thanks, guys. Enjoy watching." Well, thanks for coming on, Chrissy. We enjoy having you on there.
Thanks for coming on.
Tell more people that about our show. Next week we got one of our mentors that's going to be on, who's a retired minister who just turned 90. You think we talk about some? He's going to bring some real heat to the conversation. Okay. Oh, before we end it, huh?
Yeah. These Smith brothers, I call them the Smith brothers, but Rudy's the old man. These Smiths are something else.
You know, it's just.
But it's real, and that's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat things to keep people from, you know, because they don't like what we got to say. Don't get on the show then.
Right.
You know, I tell that all the time.
If it ain't real, it ain't us, guys. You know, please understand that. Like I said,
there's a whole lot of
Greg would say he can talk all day, but why would we need to do that? We're here to expose you to some things that we have learned in our experience, and yes, we do want to help you get your business to the next level, but we know that business isn't everything, because you can't enjoy anything without your health. Your health is your. What good is having $5 million and you've been in your hospital bed idle for the past 2.5 weeks?
You got to have an area that has some kind of foundation to even have any type of capitalism or whatever you want to call it. Without certain groups of people being productive, none of this stuff exists. This is what some of even the people in network marketing won't say to you, because I don't know. Like I said, it's the biggest problem I have in network marketing, because most of it is run by a right-wing ideology that really does not relate to most people of color. Okay? I mean, there is some viable information in there, but a lot of it is based off of a different experiences that people of color don't have, especially not in this country. Let me go on. I was just going on to the show, promote this. We got a. Let me go. This thing's coming up. We got this contest coming up. That's going on now to the end of the month. You got another week and a half before it ends. Let's go here. Let me go. Okay. What is this? Okay. This must have been something. This was Brian Finale, some kind of video thing. Okay. Well, it's an affiliate contest update. Congrats all the names in this post. Thank you for all you do and all your patronoships. Let me see. I don't know. This was some video, I guess, over the week. Well, long story short, we got this context running on up until September 30th, that you can get involved with. Let me go. Okay. This is what I wanted to do. Let's go here. What's going on? 3 simple steps to make funny eye-popping scroll stopping Instagram. Oh, that was okay. We got this. That was last week's training.
Okay.
Live 8-week boot camp to make money fast promotion, anything, product, service, or opportunity, even if you're brand new. If you're looking to use the internet to promote whatever you got that you want, this 8-week course can help you with that. Okay. Fast action bonus extended by before 9 p.m. on Monday, tomorrow. So they've extended this thing for the last few weeks. It's got bonuses you can get in here. Okay, the clock is ticking down. Live 8-week affiliate marketing boot camp. Make money in your business, proven strategies, create sales and signups. It's a $900. There's almost $1,000 value. There's other things, a $297 value. You get 30 days of MLSP coaching free with this thing. New software, launch sexy brand new lead gen capture pages. If you can type, you can use. That's a $397 value. You getting all this stuff, this valuable stuff at a huge discount of 99%. This thing valued at $497. You get it for $50, people. $49.97. You get all this stuff plus 30 days coaching with MLSP. How you can't join this or get involved with this? If you're interested in getting out the plantation, you can use affiliate marketing products and services to do this. They'll show you how to do this. Me and Kent have learned how to do this. I've made a lot more money than I ever did in any MLM and stuff through this system. Okay, they're going to take care of all the stuff, help you get over some of the problems that you face on online stuff. Social media draining your soul because there's zero leverage and you're not getting sales. Well, they'll show you how to do that. That's what this whole you got 8 weeks, people. I've never been on a, these are the people that are going to be showing you. Diane Hawkman. This is what she's made in commissions from MLSP. Stephen and Lanacia Rachel. This is their commission. This is outside of whatever else they're doing. Lisa Torres, she was the one we were talking about who got kicked out of an MLM. Commission she's made outside of an MLM was almost $500,000. Mark Harbert, if you was on any of our things last year, I had Mark Harmer on the show almost about a year ago, trying to have him again. I'm also going to try to have Stephen Lanacia on here too. But Mark Harbert was on it. He's made a bunch of commissions also. That's outside of whatever he done. I knew Mark Harbert from video marketing. Okay. Stacey Hall, she has to go for Yes program. Aaron Birch, another one who didn't even know how to copy and paste. And this is how much she's made in commissions. Sean Johnson, look what he's done. 138 million commissions, 515,000 in commissions. This is what you could do just on the side, people. If you want looking to get out of job, all it is about investing in yourself. Invest in yourself. You get absolutely free training, 30 days coaching. If you join this thing tonight with the bonuses that you're going to get, because, hey, if you wait The bonus is going to be gone pretty soon. This is Keisha Bass, who got kicked off of Facebook. Remember we were talking about you need an autoresponder. Right. She's still able to market because she has a list that she's built.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is all the stuff you'll get with this. You got 22 hours and 59 minutes to make a decision to get joining with this boot camp at $49.97. Regular price almost $500. You can't beat that, people. You cannot beat that.
Really, folks, you can't. It is worth the investment to just invest in yourself. I mean, we spend our time trading our time for dollars on our regular jobs, but how many of us take the time to really invest in ourselves? This would be a gigantic step in you doing that. You've got time, but time is ticking. So make that investment in yourself, folks.
Because me and Kent, we've signed up for this thing. We're going to be doing it. So, you can join us with this thing. We can help you with that. Since if all you guys who are watching our Sunset Sundays every week, we are the ones that have been putting in the time to do this kind of stuff. We've invested a whole lot of money in different kind of programs to help us bring different things to you, educational things to you. That's how we know, because we invested time and stuff. So, now if you follow me, you can join my newsletter there, GregorySmith.online/newsletter. I have a newsletter that I get that comes out on my blog that comes out every Friday. That stuff I share to certain groups of people. So you can join that newsletter. If you're on that list, you'll get that. Because I don't share everything I do on Facebook. I share things on for certain people, certain groups of people. Okay. So we've been on here about an hour and a half, people.
Yes, sir.
On the last Sunday of summer. Damn.
Well, it had to end sooner or later, man.
I tell you, I ain't looking to having to go out in cold. I go out in the cold sometime, but if I don't have to, that's why I got in the home-based business, working from home. I am not one of them type of people want to be scraping no car windows, trying to heat up the car. I remember them days.
Oh yeah.
Fogging up, scraping them damn things. Then I remember the days when I was in my 20s when I worked for the Huntington, walked across the Scioto Mile Bridge at dark at 6 o'clock in the morning in the middle of winter, freezing your tuchus off. My whole thing was like what Scott Michael said. I want to sleep till I'm done. I don't want to be told I got to go to bed or wake up based off of being at some damn job. That's just me. What is your reason to get out of the corporate plantation? I don't know. That was mine. Everybody got a reason.
Yep. There it is. There it is.
You got any last thoughts?
Well, you talked about you talked about your reason for leaving the corporate plantation. I am making my plans to leave because, like everyone, full disclosure, I do work a job on top of working my business, but I would say this to you, even though I am working at home, that makes me no less expendable. That you still, and for those of you working from home, you know this. you still have to follow the same guidelines and procedures that you would in in the office. You violate one of those procedures, you know, disciplinary, whether it's a write up or what have you, or and if they get tired of you, you go and you're working, and this is and I hope you guys know this. This is no longer a merit based economy. Hadn't been for a while, but just for those of you who don't know, this is now a performance based economy. So performance.
Yeah.
It is at a premium now, especially now more than ever since this pandemic has occurred. So next month, during in the fourth quarter for most businesses, if not all businesses, they're going to be starting to look at their bottom line to see where they can trim the fat going into fiscal year 2022. And
Yeah,
and
and we're there. You
you
know,
can best you can
we're
best
heading
believe
into that.
performance is going to be tantamount.
Yeah, we're heading into that silly season right now. We're at the end of September. You're gonna see you've been seeing Halloween stuff out. Next month, you're gonna be seeing Christmas and Thanksgiving shit out. So businesses are making plans for their 2022 fiscal year. First quarter 2022, they're going to be looking at some things that they're going to do, what they need to do, what they don't need to do. Are you going to be part of that tragedy and get cut? I wouldn't think it's a tragedy, because if you are dig your well now, I would say dig your well now. So if they do that to you, or you decide to do that to them, you ain't got no worries. Put this stuff together now so you can tell them foes bye. That's what you do.
And once you and just to answer Greg's question of why I'm doing this is because I'm digging my well before I get thirsty. So when I am ready to leave, I'm gonna leave with a clear conscience and not have to look back.
Right. Even though last full-time job I worked was Time Warner, really full-time, 2010, because that's where I met Kent. But I was building stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was doing stuff then before that situation happened. And I decided, well, that's a long story. Well, I'm no longer there. In fact, it didn't make no difference because the whole department ain't there.
Well,
it is what it is.
Right.
So, I just say I've been doing this. It's a different version of the stuff I've been doing as over the last 10, 11 years. Things, I bought different things, did different trainings. I was still during that time we were going to functions, events through Neutralite and Amway. But after about probably around 2010, I stopped even doing that, because I started seeing how I can do certain things without having to do that online. So I've been doing online stuff for a while, people. This is like not anything new. It's just getting the rest of people to understand this now. And with the COVID thing happening, you ain't had no choice but to do that. You had no choice but to learn the skill set.
Right.
Okay? You had no choice. And right now, we don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen in this whole thing. And people better wake up to the fact that we may not go back to, well, there's some people have gone back. I wouldn't want to, I'm being honest, I wouldn't send my kids to school. If I had kids, I would send them in this environment now that they're more susceptible to getting this virus. and they don't have anything for them if they're under a certain age, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't give a shit what the governors. I told the government to kiss my ass. Now see, people, hey, people nasty.
Hey, get a double amen on that one.
No, I'm just not in to being around people like that I don't know that well. I mean, and then they don't do the right thing, and people are scared to take time off because of that kind of mess, because they're afraid to get docked on their pay, all that kind of stuff. It don't matter if you can't perform or you sick, if you drop dead. Like I always say at the end of these shows, they'll have your damn job in the paper. If you drop dead tonight at your desk or whatever, your job will be in the paper before your obituary will. That's not me saying this. This is a quote from Les Brown. He always says Sunday night is the most stressful night most people have because they don't like the job. They don't like their job. Oh, I know. I'm looking at when I titled this tonight's show, I wrote a blog about is capitalism true gangsterism. We talked about that, and in a lot of ways, yeah. That's why I was talking about the meeting at Jaco Island. The whole thing about the meeting at Jaco Island book was about to have the federal government charge the working class, the banking cartels, to charge the working class a tax for when the banks fuck up and they do a run on the bank, like when they all had to bail out the banks like they did in 2008.
Right.
That's always been the case. That was purposely set up on purpose for the federal government to do that. They bought them. Plain and simple. Okay? With that thought, Kent, you got any other things to say?
Hey, well, we hope you gain value from this very, very informative chat tonight. Hopefully you liked it. Share it out. Share it to folks. We do this every Sunday, every Sunset Sunday, and we're going to have a powerful show next week. So you're going to want to watch and tune in to see our friend and mentor, Mr. Rudolph Rudy Smith, come and drop some gems on us for next week. And for folks, like I said, we tell you, we do have the cookie for you to get your business propelled to the next level. You can reach out to Gregory or myself. You can DM us. We're both on Facebook. We're both on Twitter. We're both on Instagram. So reach out to us. We'll meet you halfway. But if you come on with us, we're going to expect you to put in the work, because you are your best investment. And why would you not want to work for yourself?
Yeah, we're only working with adults. We're not working with no children. If you're over 18, you're an adult, and that's what we expect you to do, some things for yourself. We'll lead you to the door. We'll lead you to the water, but you got to take the drink. You got to walk through it. And it's not our responsibility to do it, because self-education is really the key. It's just that there's just people there to help you get through there. So with that being said, my name is Greg Smith. This is Ken Robinson. Like you said, we're here every Sunday night. Next week, starting at 7. That's where we're going to be starting. Because by that time, I know it's going to be about almost 7 o'clock when it gets dark. So we're losing 2 or 3 minutes a day, folks. And you can see the difference in a week already. So,
yeah.
people, take care. We'll see you next week. We're out.
Stay safe, everybody.